Cam Radio, it's the sports book every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. We got Big Lou back. Big Lou, welcome back.
Well, thank you, everyone. I am back. Been gone for a minute. I had some missions that I had to handle, at my other place of business. We got all that squared away. I am back in 100%, not going anywhere, locked in, ready to go. Missed a lot. Got a lot to catch up on, but we'll do that later. We'll do that
Oh,
at a later
ab-
date.
absolutely, man. We got. I mean, this weekend, one of the good bets this weekend was um, UFC. There was
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of gambling on UFC, and the Irish kid pulled it out. I mean,
Huh?
he uh, came to fight. Sean O'Malley, that was a heck of a fight. I mean, that guy had never been knocked down, and I mean, they were going at it.
Oh
Um,
man. Oh yeah.
they Cheeto Burrow, man, he was golly. They looked like they were had fought a war afterwards, but that was a good bet. It was minus 230. Paid a little bit of money if you took them on a decision. I think that if you put it on a parlay together, I think that was 380. Um, definitely so much going on in the NFL. I don't
Oh
even
yeah.
know where to start. I mean, you start with
Right.
Henry going to the Cowboys.
Yeah. And it's funny. I hadn't checked the ticket for that yet, but me and my cousin was just talking, and I was like, yeah. I said Travis Henry need to go to Dallas because they need a third down. Well, really, he's the first, second, and third down back, but they need a grinder, a meat grinder. And now Pollard
Yes,
can be their McCaffrey, so to speak.
yeah, true. That is
But yeah,
very very
but yeah, that's a big one for me. Big shock, big signing for Dallas. Since Saquon went to the Eagles, that's a good sign.
right. The Eagles, yeah, right. And then you got going to going to Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson.
Yes, yes, Russell
Um,
Wilson.
to show you, I don't. I think it's 39 or 49, whatever it is, 39, $49 million for Denver, basically to say we will pay you $39 million not to play for us.
Yeah,
That's a statement. That's a heck of a statement.
basically, yeah, basically it's 39 million. It's 38.7 or something like that, but it's 39.
Yeah, I mean
39.
yeah. So Pollard actually went to the Titans
Yes.
for a 3 year deal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then let me see. So there's so much. It's crazy. So
Yeah.
we got the Patriots send their quarterback to
Jacksonville.
Matt Jones to
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville to back up Sunshine,
Mm-hmm.
um, which wasn't a bad. I don't think was. I think that was a pretty good move. Um, we
Yeah.
got
Because of the injury, and I'm thinking injury with Sunshine, and maybe they lighting a little fire on his feet. Maybe.
could be. There's. I think they got some issues on their offensive line.
I
Um,
do too. I agree.
so they're going to have to cover. And there's one thing when somebody else had sent me something about Russell Wilson. So Russell Wilson comes from Seattle. He got a lot of teammates that didn't speak highly of him. He goes to Denver. He basically takes advantage of a first year coach, gets his own office. Basically, that's what he did because
Mm-hmm.
an experienced coach would have been like, an office? I'll give you an office. You get off, you get, yeah, you can get an
Right.
office. I mean,
Yeah.
Sean Payne came in, said, get rid of
Right.
him. Um, but now if he goes to the Steelers and he don't perform, I think that you got to go. I think all the
Right.
fingers got to go
It's over with.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's over with. If
because
he if he does not succeed if he does not succeed in Pittsburgh based off of what's backing him up, there's no threat to you. You can learn your offense, You got weapons. You got a two-headed monster. You got Najee Harris at running back. So you have everything that you had when you was in Seattle. You got an excellent defense.
Right.
You got a running game, and you got some great receivers on the outside.
Right.
Got a pretty decent offensive line. Bend but don't break, you know. But he's got elements there. Now it is totally on him. You know, do you want to go in there? You want to win? You know what I'm saying? Or do you want to go in there and you can't go in there the same rush. Go in there the same rush, bad things are going to happen, and then everybody, especially with this fast sports media, how we react to things now, they're going to cancel him. They're going to cancel him as far as him being that quarterback or that top 15 quarterback. He's going to fall down the scales if he fails in Pittsburgh. And it's not the 10, 11, the 10 wins, 11 wins. They did that. They did that with mediocre quarterbacks.
True.
Now we got Russell Wilson. It's time to get in the playoffs, especially when you
I
got
know. Yeah.
Joe Burrow. I'm not going to put Deshaun Watson in there because he hasn't made that threat caliber yet. But you got Joe Burrow, you got Lamar Jackson, and and you got at the end you got Deshaun Watson if he plays well this season. But it's not going to be an easy ride for him.
No, I totally agree. You got I tell you what, Houston Texans have made some moves.
Yes.
They have made some moves. They have picked up some players, and and their team or their front office has showed me that hey, we're here for the long haul, and we're trying to win some games.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because they're giving they're giving him a bunch of tools.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going to be Stroud is going to be he's going to be something to mess with in Texas.
Yes,
I mean, in Texas.
it clearly looks like they are making the necessary moves to take over that division. They're going to own the AFC South with the moves they made and with the type of quarterback that they have. They're going to that's going to be the measuring stick of that division.
What do you think? What do you think about Minshew going to the Raiders, looking at him for the quarterback job?
Uh, I think Minshew is that guy. I think he's like that glue guy. He's just put in place, to keep everything moving until they find a person that he really want. Because he does show flashes of greatness. He's consistent, over a few games. He isn't ready to take your team to the next level, but he's a good buffer. He's a good buffer quarterback in between. Get you your 9 or 10 wins. You're not gonna necessarily go far in the postseason, but you're gonna have a pretty decent regular season. You're gonna lose some games, and they're gonna be terrible. You're gonna have a couple of terrible games in there, but I think he's a good buffer quarterback until you get what you're looking for.
I agree. I totally agree. And you got him. You got them looking at him for the quarterback job. The Raiders.
Mhm.
I don't know where Jimmy G is going. Jimmy G is going somewhere.
Yeah, Jimmy got some. Jimmy got to work some stuff out. I think Jimmy needs to go to a quiet football team because of how his career kind of took a turn when he got out there on the West Coast.
A lot of injuries. A lot of injuries. He
Yeah,
definitely has a lot of injuries, foot injuries, leg injuries. What do you think about McCaff? What do you think about Kirk Cousins going? He's supposed to go to.
yeah, he went to the Falcons. Yeah,
He went to
the
the
Falcons.
what?
Yes, yes, the Atlanta
So
Falcons signed him.
it's
I
but
think it's a 4 year, 100 and I think it's like
what
180 million. Let me check. Let me check the numbers on that.
was it 180? Because it kept going. Oh yeah, 180 million, 90 million fully guaranteed.
Yeah,
You know what's
yeah.
crazy is we've talked about this before. When Kurt's done, because of those 2 years or 3 years that he was franchised, he's
Mhm.
going to be one of the richest quarterbacks ever to play the game.
Oh yeah. Oh, most
All
definitely.
be
Most
all
definitely.
because the way the contract, all the way be all I mean he went 2 years on a franchise tag, so he made top money. Then
Mhm.
he got a deal. Then he got another deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, this guy is
Yeah.
he's over 200 million. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He
Yeah.
at the end of this when this contract is official and all that, he's going to be a 250, 260. He's going to be up there.
Right.
He if he plays for a few more years, I mean, he could touch 300 million. Um,
Right.
you think that's what
Right.
Atlanta needs?
I really thought that Atlanta was gonna, with the young talent that they have, I thought they were gonna go in the draft, or I thought they were gonna make a play for Justin Fields because he's the same age as those guys. He kind of, it kind of
Right.
fits for me, and you have uh uh you have a quarterback that doesn't cost a lot. He's cost efficient, and all your players are young, and they are on the low end of the contract. So that means that you can build around your young talent. Raheem Morris is he's gonna have that defense lights out, you know. And I just think that he just went with the safe bet because, at other spots, you know, it was the offense that kind of suffered. So I think he just went with the safe thing, saying, okay, Kurt, even though he's not going to get you to the promised land, he will get you to the playoffs. And I'm kind of iffy on him and on him and Baker. But I think Kurt could take the AFC South, you know. And I know I'm
He
a Saints fan and I'm supposed to have my confidence in Derek Carr, but I don't. But Kurt, you've done more work. So
and at times, Kurt has looked really, really good. There's no doubt about
yeah,
it. I mean, he has,
yeah, he's tried
that
and true.
he. I mean, I know that one year they went 13-3, got knocked off first round of the playoffs, and it's always easy to go blame the quarterback, but at the same time, a lot of moving pieces that fell that day, and it wasn't just
Yeah,
him. Um,
right.
so I mean, some people could blame it on some coaching, some people can blame it on play calling, time, and there's a lot of things that went wrong that day. Um, what do you think about Mayfield with the $100 million deal? I'm kind of happy for him. I mean,
I
I
am too.
never been a yeah, not never been a huge Baker Mayfield fan, but it just seemed like
Yeah,
the
kind of.
humbling. Yeah, he
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of, I would say 65% Baker. I'm not all the way there with him, but I root for him to, bounce back and like you said, him being humbled by being put in the position he was put in, coming back down to earth, learn how to be a teammate,
right.
he did all that, and now he's starting to gain, success. They love him down there, so I think that works for them. That would be their best bet right now. You know, now that all of the team, the team likes him, they embrace him, and that's what you need. You need that continuity. So yeah, I think he worked. I think he worked.
So what do you think? What do you think? Saquon Barkley brings to Philadelphia that they were lacking?
And
Did it were they
right, see, that's interesting for me because I I don't think that I really think they should have got some backs. They need some back seven. That back end of the defense was terrible. That's where they got torched at. So I
Yeah,
feel like they should have went, but maybe they still have a plan. It's not over with. But Swift is a good back. They already had that. But
yeah,
but you got to make that move. Either they was going to get him, or maybe Dallas had their eyes on him before they signed Travis Henry. You know, maybe Dallas had their eyes on him too. But yeah, but it's going to make them better because now Jalen Hurts has more weapons
right.
that he can utilize to make that offense, click a little bit more. And then when he
Now,
gets, and then when he gets into trouble, he's got Saquon in the backfield that can get them 3, 4, those extra yards that they need.
And catch. I mean, yeah, he's definitely a dual threat. Um, uh, kind of like a Junior McCaffrey. There's no doubt about it.
Mhm.
And I tell you what, I haven't heard a lot. I mean, there's been a lot of monster trades. I mean, today, I mean Wilson and Mac Jones, and so, but I haven't heard a lot
Yeah.
out of what Kansas City's doing.
Um, Kansas City has they have re-signed their defensive tackle.
Yeah, they sure
He
did.
got his
That they
deal
did.
done. Yeah. So he got his deal done, which is good for them because that shows that they're going to be all in on the group that they have, and they're going to try. I think they're going to try to go for the three-peat, become the first team in history to do that. Um, but it looks like that they're all in. So Chris Jones has signed his deal. He's happy. He's got 3 years. So
Right.
yeah, so they're going to be clicking on all cylinders like normal. We'll see how far it goes with them.
Well, one thing about the Baker Mayfield deal, it's a 3 year, $100 million deal.
Yeah, he
You know what
deserves
I
it.
mean? So it's a short deal.
Hmm.
It's kind of like show me what you can do. If
Right.
not, we have options to move around without it totally caving. And that's where I think with Wilson, it was so over one sided. You know what I mean? It was like,
Yeah.
golly, you are going all in on this
Yeah,
guy,
murder. Yeah, yeah. Y'all are murdering yourselves. You know,
with no
you
options.
can't. Yeah, you have no option.
I mean,
But
you're eating 37, whatever it is, some million
yeah,
dollars. You're
yeah,
talking about four players. That's
yeah.
four top notch players you could have had for 1 year, to
Right.
really give you
And for him to get out of there,
yeah.
which is
And
crazy.
that and the other thing is this year with Deshaun Watson, um, this may be the last year that you see all the stars that Cleveland has because they're getting
Hmm.
into people are trying to get paid, and that Deshaun Watson deal is going to be like it's going to at some point it just comes a problem unless it's reworked, um,
Right.
and it's just numbers in business. And then I'm trying to see. I was kind of waiting to see what was Dallas going to do with Dak if they were going to rework that deal, or is it just $60 million and that's the end of the story?
Yeah, and I'm right there with you, Tony. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Dak. You know, is he
60 million
worth
is a lot of
it?
money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Is he worth it? Hard for us to say because you would
Hard for us to
rather
say.
have a quarterback that can get you close all the time than not, or just break 500, or just get above 500. When you put it in a perspective of, you're constantly winning at a high level,
Right.
that's good. But at the same time, the Cowboys. So it's the grand deal, the Super Bowl, everything else is a bust. But that's how they portray themselves.
True. Very, very true. I mean, it's Super Bowl or bust over there. Um, and they got a lot of people to sign. The
Yeah.
Bills cut a bunch of people. The Bills
Oh
cut
yeah.
all pro safety. White
Yeah.
cut a bunch of people trying to move some people around. They reworked Von Miller's contract. Um, and his thing is that he's been playing hurt the whole time. He's never really healed since. I know when we first got him, he was lights out.
Right.
Those first 6 games, it was like, wow, that Von Miller. And then he got hurt, and it never ever. Shoot, he sat out for a year. I mean, a year, and then he came back, and he still wasn't right. And we really never
Yeah.
got. I mean, I guess that's their. We'll see. We'll see if that comes. We'll see if that comes to premonition, as they say. I
Right.
I hope that it does. I mean, because
Right.
Miami's making moves. Everybody's making moves. New England, I mean, they're trying to get another quarterback. Um,
Mhm.
there's a lot of talent in the draft. There's a lot of good defense. There's a lot of good offensive offensive talent in the draft. I mean, they got some monsters, Lou.
Oh
6'6",
yeah.
390, 6'3", 375. I mean, they got some monster men.
Absolutely.
They got some big boys in the first round. They got big boys all the way through, but I'm saying that first round, there's guys who projected to go in the first round. Not the first pick, of course. They're putting all this thing on Caleb, that quarterback, and
Caleb Williams.
Caleb.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I hope he's the next coming of Joe Montana. But geez, let him go somewhere. The problem is I think he's going to go to not a good situation. That's my opinion. I
I
think
believe so. I believe so as well. I believe so. I believe he's going to go to a situation where he's not going to be able to learn, learn the NFL and speed and how everything works. He's not going to go to a place where he can have time to learn.
that's that draft. Let me pull this up. I'm trying to see because who's got the draft. All right, for all 7 rounds. Trying to pull it up. Let me see. Year Proctor injury announces Miami round 1. So the Chicago Bears have the first pick. Washington has the second. New England has the third. But my thing is let's say Chicago gets him. What is he getting any more than Justin Fields got?
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
You got a different quarterback that's going into the same situation as Justin Fields. I have talent. I have high quarterback IQ, but there's nothing around me, that can help me develop or to help me get to the next level.
Nothing whatsoever. It's
Right.
it's
So why
it's
not
got
keep what you why not keep what you have, put talent around him, and let's see what this guy can really do.
yeah, because Carolina, they got Chicago Bears from Carolina. The Washington is probably going to grab. We know New
They
England is probably
grabbed
going to grab a
Austin
quarterback.
Eckler. They grabbed Austin Eckler from the Chargers. The
Yeah,
Commanders did. Yeah.
and then Atlanta's got
So
an 8th pick in the first round, which is nice for them. I think. Let me see. We're 28th. Where are you guys? You guys got a nice. You guys are 14. There's some linemen available. There's even a couple defensive tackles, some edge rushers too that are going to be
which we
available.
definitely need.
So
We need some linebacker play as well.
Yeah, so there's definitely some talent in there. You think this is the last year for Carr?
I think so. I think the jury's out. I think the jury's out on Carr. I kind of want to give him a chance to get stable on the offensive side of the ball, because we all know Dennis Allen is a defensive coordinator.
Right.
That's what he is. Now, you brought in John Gruden, to advise, but he's basically coaching the offense. So
Right.
maybe John Gruden can implement an offense that can help Derek Carr. Now that all of the players that didn't too much care for him are gone, like Marcus Colston, well, not
Sure.
Marcus
Sure.
Colston, now that the team the team can grow around him, and we'll see where it goes from there. I'm not sold. I root for Derek Carr, but I'm not sold because Saints got Jameis Winston was somewhat successful with Saints offense, and don't be
Right.
surprised if he ends up in Denver. Don't be surprised.
Ah.
Don't be surprised
Okay.
if he ends up in Denver as a backup or something something to that extent if he is released from the Saints. I don't think he's released yet. I'm not sure. I'll
Right.
check
Right.
on
Right.
that.
No. Yeah, I agree. Definitely let's cover a little basketball.
Yeah.
Going to all right. Right now, man, the Celtics are hot. They've been good to gamble with.
Red
They're
hot.
winning. Yeah, you just got to watch your spreads because sometimes they're giving up a little. In Cleveland, I'll tell you this now. We've been messing around with some Cleveland bets, and Cleveland even though they got a great record, they can be inconsistent at times. Playing lackadaisical, they'll squeeze out a win. Kind of rough to gamble with.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, this season I've been very impressed with Oklahoma. I'm very impressed.
Absolutely. Very impressed
I,
with that team, with that young team. They seem to be gelling. Kit is starting to, grow and find his way. And he's been playing outstanding basketball. Him and Mbanyama, they've been playing pretty good. But
yes,
yeah,
they have.
I like what OKC is doing right now, and I like the projection that they're going in as a youth, as a young team.
So are you surprised that Memphis is at the bottom of the barrel after last year?
Not really, because I believe that Derrick Brooks was the heart and soul. He was like the Draymond, but he couldn't get, it's like you want to be the bad guy, but you can't get it right. You know what I'm saying? You go overboard or you say the wrong thing. That's not the case. You just have to be the edgy guy. And he just took
Right,
it too
right.
far. But I am shocked. I am kind of shocked, but I know I knew that the West was going to be crazy, especially with Denver on all cylinders and these teams last year that we were talking about, they look good, they're better this year.
Yep.
And
Even the Mavericks look better, and the loss the Lakers are in number 9 position. They're well
mhm,
over 500, better than they were last year about the same time. Um, and um, so yeah, it's definitely looking. It's going to be. I can't wait to the playoffs. There's still some good like I said, still some good gambling
mhm,
on the season. What you just got to kind of watch. And I always tell people this: watch your live bets, because again, at the end of the day, sometimes the teams will jump out on a 10 point lead, and they're going to come back in the second. They get hot in the second half, and sometimes you can
mhm.
get some points or some points shaved off the. Maybe they were -10. Well, maybe they're -3 now. I mean, it could definitely give you some advantages watching your live bets. Um,
Right.
all right, so we got a little bit of time left. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We got Big Lou back every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock on KM Radio. Go to KM Radio, press play, 24 hours a day of nothing but great programming, shows. Um, and man, I just want to thank everyone. Lou, great to have you back. We'll
Man,
check
it's
you
good to
out
be
next.
back.
Good to be back next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, right here on KM Radio, where we go ham.
Hell.